So if you pay attention to social media at all, you have already heard about the Callaway Elite. Callaway is one of those companies, they're really good about social media and getting the word out about their products with influencers. So the big question though is it going to be the right driver for you? Well, we've had a lot of experience here at the Mistwood Performance Center, having had fitting days, having staffers from all around the region come in and hit this driver and getting their feedback. It's got some good things going on for it, and we'll talk all about it right now. What's going on, everybody? Scott Oden coming at you. We are back. We are here at the Mistwood Performance Center. We are in the fitting corner, as you can tell by all of the club heads. We are going to be talking again about equipment. We are trying to get you dialed for the season. Again, the goal is make sure your equipment is helping you, not hurting you. So as we go through all of these models and all of these specs, start thinking about what you currently play. And based on what you're seeing and what I talk about here, is that something that fits with your game and your goals for your golf game? All right, so let's talk about the Callaway Elite driver. First off, let's just talk about the aesthetics of the club head. When you're looking at it, it is spelled Elyte in an ode to Eli Callaway. That is what that means. We do have a different color scheme, just a little bit of green up here on the top. Pretty simple and clean looking driver, which personally I like. That's what I want to see with my driver. And then it is a carbon driver. It's going to have a lot of carbon on it. So you do have the carbon where you're going to see a lot of this matte gray on top, a pretty common theme that we're seeing nowadays from most companies. That is just going to be the basics of the driver. There are going to be 6 models. Now, I have 4 of them here, but I'll talk about all 6 of them as we go. We have just the Callaway Elite. That's going to be your core head. We do have the Callaway Elite X. We're going to have the Triple Diamond. We do have the Max Fast. I'll talk about that. And then there's a ladies driver and then a ladies Max Fast as well. Jumping into the different models, we have the Callaway Elite. So what you're seeing with these core heads, you are seeing a little bit of a shallower face, and the Callaway Elite is no different. A little bit shallower, a little bit of a longer back. That is again to promote forgiveness in the golf club. We want to be able to strike the ball anywhere on the face and have that ball go relatively straight. By moving weight farther away from the center of gravity or from the face, then you are going to be able to control the mishits a little bit easier. We do have a weight in the back of the club, a little bit different how they do their weighting. Usually you have some sort of a slider with the weight. This year with Callaway, it is just a weight, and then you have actually 3 ports that you can plug it in, and they do have it labeled. If you want to draw, you want to fade, you can actually put it wherever you want to. You just unscrew it, take it out, put that weight wherever you want. They do also have a weight up by the face, which I personally like because I'm somebody that likes to get spin off of the golf ball. I also like having weight up by the face because when I'm testing it, I do get a little bit faster ball speed numbers. But again, that is going to be something that is player determined. That's what you're going to want to look at when you go and get fit for it. From there, again, you have your AI 10K face. That's going to be basically the gist of what you have with the driver. 460 cc's, about D3 with that swing weight. Your shaft options that you have with Callaway this year, you do have what they call the Denali Charcoal. That's going to be the pretty stock shaft that you're going to see. That's going to come in a 50, 60 version. And then they do have a Vanquish shaft, which is on the lighter end. That is going to be that 40 gram, kind of in that range if you need that. Now, I said earlier that they do have an interesting shaft option. They have this new shaft that is out called the Artera. This is a shaft that I think a lot of people are going to be interested in trying. We've hit this and we've had Artera, the whole company, out to actually demo the shafts with us. And I found them to be pretty good. They're very, very interesting to hit and something that I think you're going to want to try if you go get fit. It does have an upcharge to it. Keep that in mind, but it is a very good shaft and one that I could see people carrying this. If you got it, you could keep this with you for a long, long time. We move into the Elite X. The Elite X is replacing what would typically have been called the Max D line. That is the Max Draw. So this is the Elite X that we see. Very similar to what we've seen in the past with other clubs that are looking to help people draw the golf ball. Again, you have a very shallow face that's going to help get the ball in the air. It also allows us to move weight farther away from the face. So a single weight in the back. There is no weight up by the face on this one, trying to increase forgiveness, move that center of gravity as far away from the face as we possibly can. This club only has 2 ports that you can adjust the weight. You have your neutral, and then we have one towards the heel for a draw setting. This club is meant to help somebody hit a draw. It can also be helpful to get some spin on the golf ball. If you're somebody that doesn't have a ton of speed, then you need to get that golf ball up, and you do need a little bit of spin to make sure the ball is staying in the air. This driver can help you do that. It is still a 460cc head. You're typically going to see this driver come in at a little bit of a lighter swing weight. D1, D2, could get a D3 based on the shaft that you get and the weight of that shaft, but typically going to see this one be more on the D2, D1 side of the spectrum. And then we move to the triple diamond. The triple diamond is nothing new to the Callaway lineup, and that is no different here with the Elite. Now, the triple diamond is going to be more of your traditional shape. One thing that's interesting about this club is we have actually a different finish on top. We do not have that kind of matte gray. We do have a more traditional kind of look to the driver, not only in shape, but in the paint that they're using. It's just going to be more of a glossy kind of black paint that you're seeing. So if you're somebody that likes a really traditional look, I like the look of that. That's kind of my thing too, is I like a really traditional look. I also like that this is a 450cc head, but it is much deeper. It is noticeably less to the back of this club, which again, if you are trying to get the ball to spin less, that is the whole point of this club. Triple diamond is the same as an LS head. Get the spin off of the golf ball. We need to move weight closer to the face. That also can help you get ball speed up. So we typically would be seeing really good players or people with high swing speeds that are going to fit into this driver, trying to get some of that spin off of the golf ball. There is no adjustability as far as tuning this driver. You do have two weights on it. We have one weight in the back. You have one weight up by the face. You can do some maneuvering with the weights, changing them out to change how you want it to feel. But again, the goal is trying to maneuver the weight from front to back as opposed to heel to toe, because we want to try to get spin. The main goal of this driver is to get spin off of the golf ball. That's another reason this is probably for a little bit of a better player, because we're not going to be able to adjust this as much to get the ball to curve less. Now, Callaway does still have the same fitting tip to their shaft, so we can do a little bit of maneuvering as far as a draw setting. Let's say if you were a slicer, we can try a little bit of a draw setting, or we can maneuver the loft, which does start altering the lie angle when you're looking at a Callaway shaft, so we can do that a little bit. But typically, we're going to see this driver. I tend to see it be more of a fade bias, just like other LS heads. I tend to see this ball fading. More of a high swing speed player. You're not going to want the ball hooking on you because it gets out of control really, really quick. That's the typical player that's going to be looking at this triple diamond head. Although, again, you may be able to draw it. It's just something you need to look at when you go to a fitting. With the triple diamond, I'm actually really excited because one of the stock shafts for this club is the Tensai 1K Black. This is a shaft. You can get this one a little bit heavier, and I've talked about in previous videos that this is one of my favorite shafts that I've hit that's just not $1 million upcharge when you're going to get it, right? This is a stock option that they have available, and I think this shaft is really good because of just how smooth it feels, but you can still get the weight of it up. Getting the weight of the shaft up will help increase that swing weight, which if you're a high swing speed player, that's good, because having a higher swing weight will help increase the stability of the club. It's a little harder to twist the club around. And if you're at a high swing speed, just being off a little bit with the face, that ball can get offline really far, really quick. And then the fourth head that we're going to talk about, this is the Max Fast head. This is just your basic, this is essentially taking the Elite X, which is that Max D head, but we are just making it lighter. This is going to be more for your slower swing speed players, somebody that really needs to get the ball up in the air and get some spin on the golf ball so it stays in the air. This is going to be the head for you. This is just taking an already lighter Elite X head, but this one's getting a lot lighter as we're going through. So we can really start dropping that swing weight down and really helping a player get the ball to launch. Same features as we have with the Elite X as far as the weight. We have one weight with two ports. You can put it onto a neutral setting. You can put it onto a draw setting as you go. This Max Fast, you're going to see this one go with the Vanquish. That is going to be the big shaft that you're going to see with it, although you can have some other options that you could try. But typically, we're going to see a lighter shaft go with this head if you're looking at it. So that is the Callaway Elite. We went through the four models here. Again, you do have the ladies option and the ladies Max Fast. I would highly recommend you check those out as well if you're in the market for those. But that is the Elite. What are your thoughts on it? Anything that's making you say, hey, I have to go try this? And again, if you want to get fit, I'd highly recommend you do it. We'd love to have you out here at the Mistwood Performance Center. Get your full ball flight, get your TrackMan numbers, and see all of it, the best of both worlds as you go through that fitting. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. We're going to have more. We have the sleeper driver of the year, in my opinion, coming up. So do not miss out on that. Click that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber already. If you missed our previous video about the Ping G440, make sure you check that out here, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.